All right, we are live, back with a Week 9 Guillotine Greatness Report. We got Ryan in here. Say what's up.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
Okay.
You can't respond to that.
That's some good energy, though. I like that.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor, he got his obligatory three touchdowns last week. He's pacing for literally like one of the best running back seasons ever since like LaDainian Tomlinson. So I hope he does it. Like it's awesome to see what the Colts are doing. But yeah,
Not that anybody cares about my other league, but I traded him for Gianti and Pollard in another league after week 1. So
don't be that guy.
yeah, this is fun. I'm enjoying watching him be so good this year.
Well, R.I.P. to Cooper. Not who no one voted for him last week, so not who anyone had on their super high on their radar to get chopped last week, but it just kept happening. We're like, well, this is the first week he didn't have Barkley, but when he had Barkley wasn't doing anything. And then Ibuka has had a couple duds here and there and getting injured, and just all around and Baker's had a couple bad weeks now back to back. So it just hasn't been was not a good last couple weeks for Cooper, and I kind of thought his team was better. So not who I had on my list to get chopped this week. But it's
we texted about it, but like even going back to like the Bucks Lions game, like their offense, just the Bucks just looked very out of shape or out of whack, and it was against essentially the entire backup secondary for the Lions. Like it was just they were off, and I think rightfully so. If you're Cooper, you're like one bad game. Like it's the Bucks. They've been awesome. Like let's just
Baker
run it right back.
And low-key an MVP candidate through like 5 weeks.
Yes, and I mean he still very well might be.
Yeah.
He took a step back, but it's like you can't not start Baker and Ibuka.
Right.
So kind of unfortunate. I don't know. I think his team just whatever the opposite of peak is, they did it at the valley at the wrong time, and they all did it together. Like up until 2 weeks ago, I think his team was really solid, and then they just all kind of decided to fall off a cliff at the same time. So
yeah, I think
that'll do it.
The valley. Like,
the valley plateaued or something.
Well, a plateau would mean like you got high, then you stayed consistent.
Yeah.
He dropped. They dropped back down.
He valleyed.
Lots of Grim Reapers added to the list. I look forward to when there's less, and there's like just a couple in the 3 category or something. So someone please die with one of these people. I'll probably keep some of the 2s on there if I think they're like candidates to continue to get more. I mean, Henderson is rostered. I was going to take him off, but he is rostered. Ben has him.
I got starting. He's starting.
Last I checked, he was okay. He is. Wait. He is not starting him. He put in Malik Washington.
Okay. He was starting this morning, but yeah,
I think you're right. But he's on a roster, so I'm going to keep him on here. I even just saw a rumor that the Patriots are looking to potentially trade for a running back before the deadline. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, you have a stud. Like, there's no way Travion Henderson just like forgot how to use his legs. Like we saw what he did in college. Just use him.
In the preseason.
I kind of forget that, but yeah, I believe it. So whatever. That was just a rumor. I don't know if that's true. But we added Ferguson, Cortland Sutton, and McConkey to the list, with Cooper getting eliminated with them, and they're in his starting lineup. And they're all rostered now, so that's who we got. I'm pretty sure everyone here is being started. I mean, Devonta Smith on bye, Henderson on a roster, but not being started technically. But that's who we got. And can you hear that, Ryan?
Yeah, I can hear that, Mikey.
Nice. Mikey's unhappy about something downstairs. Or actually, he's coming up the stairs right now.
Does he want to make a guest appearance?
No, he's with the nanny right now, so he's putting him down for a nap. Okay, top 25%. Ryan, you made the slide.
New territory for me.
David with the star, Jack, with the Flame. Average score of 138. That is the highest. And to call it out, David did score the highest score that he would have scored this year at 155, something like that. I think the next best was less than 140. So it's been kind of no one's had any like crazy big weeks yet. And also David did it on like his big bye week, so that was kind of funny.
That was pretty crazy.
Just Jonathan Taylor and Brees doing it, pulling the weight. So yeah, highest average we've seen from this group so far this season. In the bottom 25%, average score of 75, which is down again. Last week the average was 90. That's when I go. I mean, I know I wasn't. It was me, and then also like JC and Joey that went on weeks where the floor was higher for whatever reason, and it just sucks. But Cooper getting chopped, Ben with the trash can, not Mitchell. Mitchell getting the ice cube, and Fleming also getting another ice cube, sneaking in there. Yeah, that's what we got there. The week 8 Box and Whisker. Look at the difference between these last 2 weeks. Like the dispersion of scores was so much greater.
Super interesting.
Like it was so tight last week. I still don't understand how me and Walker are outliers. I mean, I understand how I guess statistically that works is because there's a lower deviation from the mean, so it doesn't take as much to be an outlier. But this is kind of funny to see. Yeah. I think Fleming. I think Fleming and Mitchell are like overlapping right here. So interesting. Floor went down, ceiling went up, and now we've got Thursday night tonight. Ravens and Dolphins. Ravens are heavily favored with the return of Lamar. Expected to be high scoring, but I don't know if I'm going to guarantee the Dolphins are going to put up a bunch. They could, but the Ravens last week weirdly looked competent, and that was without Lamar. Like their defense did. Snoop. Yeah, so we only got a couple guys tonight. Big names: Lamar, Derrick Henry, Achane, and then throw in Zay Flowers, Andrews, Waddle. Jake has a heavy lenience on this game, or a third of his team is playing tonight: Lamar, Zay, and Andrews. So that's one to watch. I don't think anyone else is doubled up anywhere. So yeah. That's this game tonight. Should be kind of interesting. And on Monday, I don't really know what to think of this game other than that it's a game. I don't think anyone's starting Kyler, but I put a question mark there because he's questionable and probably maybe startable if someone wants to take a chance on that against the Cowboys. But
yeah,
Bam Knight, Marvin Harrison, McBride, Dak, Javonte, CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, and Ferguson all in lineups. Cowboys favorite.
Big game for Johnny. Johnny's got.
He's got Bam.
Bam and Marvin Harrison.
Yep. Well, good matchups. Those are. I mean,
Yeah.
Cowboys are green. So.
But we had a quiet Monday last week, barring 4 Zach Ertz fumbles. So, I think Johnny, he has a few votes. He's running some guys who could bust out there. So, Maybe there will be some excitement on Monday this week.
Maybe, and if he starts off the week strong or bad with a Waddle dud, that'll be not.
And Ben has Dak, so maybe we'll have some excitement this Monday.
Yeah, maybe. Who has Javonte at this point? I know he's moved around.
Walker has him.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. And Ferguson went to Jack Holston. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, pretty much spread around. Everyone's got one guy except for Johnny. He's got 2. Over under 54.5. That's wild, I guess, but cool. Could be high.
I kind of like the under.
I like the under. That's just a high over. Like I don't know.
It's a high over, and the Cardinals' offense is just so.
There's no guarantee.
Weird. Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm with you on the under there. All right, the week 8 standings. We've got once again everyone that's shopped is at the bottom as it should be. I mean, Cooper was had the lowest total points going into that week, and then he had the lowest score last week. So sucks. 8 weeks, so we still got just the same 5 teams above the 100 points per week threshold. Jack taking the top spot now. Max, Jake, David, Walker. Johnny just short of it. Johnny's been hanging around in the middle of the pack, but Now we got Ben at the bottom, so if the trend continues, Ben's gone this week, and he has a lot of votes. So maybe there's some truth behind that. If Devon Achane does not like put up a good game tonight, he probably needs to start looking for desperate moves.
He does.
He's reliant on those two running backs that he has.
He is, and he doesn't. I mean, granted, he could probably empty the tank on somebody, but he doesn't have a ton of fab. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I was gonna say he can't make upgrades. He can, but
also,
it would just.
He is benching Dak for Stafford.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder. Yeah.
Apparently, Arizona's a red matchup for quarterbacks, but yeah, all right. He also has Malik Washington in tonight, so that's actually Ben is one to watch tonight with Achane and Malik Washington. He currently has Alec Pierce and Malik Washington in his flexes over Tony Pollard and Travion Henderson.
I mean, they all suck.
They're all kind of it's a toss up, I guess. But if you're going for floor plays, I think he's got the wrong guys in there. But that's not always what it is at this point. But I'm not saying Travion, that don't do that. Do it actually.
He had 10 carries. I mean, I don't know. I don't like it. Last week he had 10 carries. I still don't like the play.
That was garbage time though, right? Was it not?
It was a lot of
blowing them up.
They were, yeah. But 10 carries is 10 carries. I don't know if you want to make. If you want to make.
I mean, averaging 7.5 yards a carry might help against a good Browns defense. Might help your case in getting more touches going forward. Holy matchups, dude! Just looking at Travion, it would be for Ramondre too. All green after Atlanta this week. It's green down the entire rest of the season. That's hilarious. Anyway, the economy. We got Potter still sitting pretty at the top. We lost Cooper, who had 60. So that was a big loss to the economy. That was, at the time, we were over 400. So he was like about an eighth of, a little more than an eighth of the remaining fab just gone. So now Potter, even with more of a powerful position, you could say, same with Jake, Jack, and David, all with like good teams already, and fab, it's starting to really separate. Like the good teams are really good and have fab, mostly, and the bad teams don't have fab. So the way it's trending, it's kind of clear who's going to make it long term, but anything can happen on a given week, and there's bound to be a good team go at some point from now until then, and there's bound to be a bad team make it. Like I already said that, like someone's going to make it out of the bottom pack and make it to the Final Four. Like one of the the Mitchell, Ryan, Fleming, Benz. One of you four is making the Final Four. It's gonna happen, even though you've been skating by for now. 333 left in circulation. Potter owns a fifth of that. Crazy.
And his team is really like he's got end game guys, Puka and CD.
Yep.
And Jaden, if Jaden at his best, definitely end game. So, and Tyler, you said that, yeah. You can do a lot with 73 fab when the team's already rounding into form. It helps that he got a gift, essentially Puka for free, but it counts. He's on the squad, so
yeah. So this week we've got some decent teams on bye. Some decent players will be without. You got like a Saquon, Jalen Hurts, Brees, Quinshawn Judkins, who's hurt, so it actually probably benefits him to be out a week. Bucky might be returning next week. Baker, Ibuka, maybe Garrett Wilson will return after the bye. So a decent bye week, and like I said, I thought I had prepared myself pretty well for the week 8 and 9 byes. I don't really have anyone on any of these teams. So I think I would have still been sitting pretty. I'm going to keep living in the world of what ifs here. But the graphs are really going to show how there's kind of a clear cut between the top teams and the bottom teams. There's not a lot of people that end up in the yellow on these graphs, as we'll see. This one, there's none. In the green, we got Jack, Max, Jake, Walker, David, Potter, all looking good on both platforms. And then Mitchell, Ben, Ryan, Johnny, Fleming in the bottom. Both not liked by either platform. So, pretty cut and dry there. And looking at next week versus rest of season, normally we would see someone that looks bad this week but has a good outlook rest of season because it's either they have an injured player or they have a bye week or a good player on bye, whatever. But we're not seeing that this week. It's pretty linear. You're either good now and good rest of season or you're not. And it is the exact same names in both of these. So I'm not going to read them again. Yeah, exactly the same names. Okay. Position strength budget. This is where we'll see a little bit of difference. 4 of the same people down here: Mitchell, Fleming, Ben, Ryan, Johnny. Is it just Johnny? Yeah, Johnny squeaks out because he's got a little more than average budget, but his position strength is still below average. And then in terms of the group that has strong players, the only ones that drop down are Max and Walker. They have a less fab than these 4 to continue to work with. So that is where they are. Jack's looking the best on this, or you could say Potter because he's got so much fab. So both in powerful positions. So in summary, it was tough to really put people.
I've moved up. Moved up into
Ryan.
the who knows.
I think I know. There's 4 of you with 0, so I had to figure out what to do with that. An easy way is just put you on the danger zone, but that seems lazy.
Eric likes to think harder than that.
I'm going to think a little harder than what the numbers might tell you on the surface. I think your team is a little better than these ones, and I was trying to look at who's most affected by bye weeks, and because of Saquon and maybe someone else I forget on your team, I was going to put you here, but that would imply that I think you're in a spot to make a push.
I am not.
You're not. So I'm just going to put you here because without Saquon, it's tough. But you have an average team once he comes back. So maybe...
What a nice guy.
Yeah. There you go. And Ben, you could argue the 2 running backs, Achan and Gibbs, gives him a floor that provides safety, but he doesn't have much fab. So past that, and Dak provides a floor. But past that, it's not great. So, going to give him the questionable long term in a sort of tier below Max and Walker, who I'm also putting here because they have less fab than these 4, who are just going to obviously be in this category. And Johnny, he's also a decent team. I had him in the middle last time, I think, with, who is it that I'm injured?
He's got Judkins on bye. If that's
Judkins injured and on bye, and he got Ibuka, who's on bye and injured, I guess. So he's waiting on those 2 guys to come back. And then when they do, he'll look a little better and probably pop back into here. But there is a world where Johnny's affected by that this week. And then Mitchell and Fleming down here. So, yeah. That is, Fleming with the Pearsall trade. I mean, I questioned Ryan's move there, but he's not playing. He's not trending to play this week. So... a guy that Fleming could definitely use going forward. Fleming got Bucky though too, who he's also waiting on. So
yeah, I really like Bucky pickup. Obviously, we did the same thing, so I would like it. But I think what I learned too, Eric, is that I think you're higher on Pearsall than the general public.
My whole team was named after him, and then he.
Yeah. So
I was ready to hold it down. I didn't want to trade him or get rid of him because he was my team's namesake.
Yeah, so I talked to Eric, and I feel like the dumbest person ever, but I think to the general pop, who A, doesn't love Pearsall as much as Eric, and B, didn't make that move with the sole purpose of a player playing the Bengals defense in mind. I'm 2 for 2 on Eric's hate for that one. So anyway,
yeah, you checked all the boxes there.
Yeah. So
Eric locked down.
Eric hated that move, but maybe that's a good thing.
If Pearsall doesn't play this week, I can no longer hate the move. But long term, Pearsall's got it. He's a guy. He's a flex. He's a longer, almost. I mean, if he peaks to what he can be, he is a late game flex play.
I think you're a lot more on. I agree. I'm not. I never said that.
I think. Okay, then I'll say at least Pearsall has a higher
Yes,
potential to
yes,
be a
yes.
late game
That's
flex
fair.
play than
Yes,
DJ Moore.
that's fair. I
There
will
you go.
agree with that.
All right, David's team. We already said JT Brees popping off, Danny Dimes doing his thing. He adds Cortland Sutton in here, so that's a solid addition. He may be rolling out 2 tight ends this week, Pitts and McBride. That's just what this has. Let me see what he actually has. It is Trey Tucker instead of Pitts. So that's who he's got there. He also has Booty on in there, so he could throw him in there if he wants to take a flyer. But
I mean, I feel like the Booty flyer would hit more often than it's missed at this point.
yeah,
Like he
it's
seems to.
becoming consistent actually.
Yeah, I
Last
would
3
agree.
weeks.
Not that. I mean, like if I'm David and my team is as good as it is, like what the heck? Shoot your shot and try to get another $6.
I guess another way to look at Booty is only 3 weeks has he been over 3 targets.
It doesn't seem to matter.
It
I mean, that's
doesn't.
you play him without like that being the reason. Like you're not playing him for the volume.
Yeah, because he just gets these touchdowns. He has 5 touchdowns
And he,
on the
yeah,
year. So
yeah.
1 second. Max just texted me. I wonder if he'll hop in. I didn't do it in the typical Discord. I should have hopped in the Discord thing because then anyone else could have hopped in. But we'll move on. I'll see what he says. Ultimately, David scorched past the Bimageddon week, as we'll call it. He was affected by it. Getting his first star of the season. All right, Jack. Another flame to his group, freaking collection of accolades over here. He's only not got an accolade 1 week so far. It's crazy. James Cook with the massive week. Jack was, in theory, a little bit sweating it early on.
I think he was. I was getting
texts. He was ready. He was ready to make a
was.
trade. He said if after the 1 p.m. window, if it wasn't going well, but it went well, so he was all good. And now he gets Josh Allen, he gets JSN back, he gets Drake London back, he gets Nico Collins back. It's just, and now he adds Ferguson in there. So I mean, there's not much else to say other than this team is really good. And I think Ferguson for $2, even after putting up a dud, is a good use of money. Yeah. Any thoughts there? I'm just gonna move on. I think there's not much really to report on here.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna nitpick, like London and Collins are pretty boom or bust.
A little bit.
But I mean, there's just so much talent everywhere else.
Boomer bust at this point. But you have enough boomer bust
Not,
guys in the
not this
lineup.
week.
You're bound to...
Not this week, Eric. Not this
Okay.
week.
All right.
He's like moving on.
Wrong. Ryan, take it away.
A lot of mid. I mean, shout out Cooper for Saquon. I think I know now what you meant when my trade with you almost screwed me 2 weeks ago, and I did not initiate the Saquon. Well, I did, but he put him on the block. So, like I feel bad that cost Cooper, but I also am like, you were trying to trade him. So anyway, that wound up hurting Cooper. But yeah, I'll roll out 2 tight ends as well. I feel like Kelsey and Gadsden are just tearing it up right now. The Chiefs' offense is clicking. Gadsden is a revelation. So I'll be frisky and roll out the 2 tight ends and see if we can get by with the all mid team here at running back and wide receiver. I mean, Olave and Keenan, if you look it up, are the number 8 and 10 wide receiver on the year. So do I think that, I want to keep riding with them for, the next however many weeks? Like, no, but they've done the job. So anyway, definitely in the danger zone this week, but we'll see. If the all mid team can keep it rolling. I think there's, as you showed in the charts, some other equally weak teams. So got to get past one of them, and then we get Saquon back, and we go from there.
There you go. But as it stands, this is the looks of a team that gets chopped.
That's fair. I mean, I'm not disputing. I
No, that's
understand
just
that.
I'm just saying that because that's my vote this week.
Yeah. I also prioritizing special teams. That's kind of been that helped me last week too, and I feel very confident about the Rams against New Orleans
They
this
do have a
week
good
with
matchup. That'll be good.
Duff or however you say his name, Chow.
Shuck.
Shuck. Wow. Okay.
It's like
Yeah, I don't
Huff.
know.
It's like Huff.
Yeah. So anyway, I think I'm hopeful I can pop off and give the rest of my team a little break.
I think what's funny is Travis Kelce, worst flex 2 in the league right here.
Is he really?
Yeah, they have him below Kyle Pitts.
That's crazy.
Is he supposed to not play or something? Do they think that he's not playing or something?
No, he's not even on the injury report.
Okay.
He's the number 6 tight end on the year.
Okay, sure, on the year, but this is like this looks at matchup and everything. Right?
Yeah, they have the Bills, and the over/under is like 55.
Are they good? Are the Bills good against tight ends?
It's not red on sleeper.
Well, there you go. I mean, I don't
That's
know.
kind of garbage. I mean, I guess they're red on sleeper. I'm wrong, but like
Elite. Who's starting the Bills D this week?
Yes, the Bills D.
That'll bump them up.
He's not scoring. Yeah, that's wild. I mean, I don't care. Rank him low. All he's done the last 3 weeks is 15, 10, 7 in a game they were routing the Raiders in 19. So.
And another thing to note on these is a reminder that there's never going to be red anymore. Anything above 12 is yellow. So I'm going to add Max in here, by the way. He's going to be joining. Wait. Oh, cut us out. Hello. We got Max in here now.
Hey, everybody.
How is it going here? I need to share my screen again, don't I?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, these graphs are now, there's no red anymore, so having all yellow is no longer really like a good thing. You probably want some greens in there. You got two, Ryan.
Overrated.
But here we go. Max, just in time. Welcome to the video.
Well, I guess my timing couldn't be more perfect. It's there's a lot to be excited about for sure. I don't think I'm quite where I want to be for the last push going into the final stretch here. Hopefully, just trying to take it week by week. It's been a blast managing this team, especially watching, enjoying Tucker Kraft, getting to watch him every week, because he's been a revelation for not only my fantasy team, but for the Packers as well. When those two things kind of go hand in hand, it's really makes this stuff a lot more enjoyable to watch. I'm stressed out every week, but it's still a hell of a lot of fun to watch Tucker put 30 on the Steelers and watch it directly correlate to success for my Guillotine League team here. But outside of that, I do have some holes at running back. I'm open for business in terms of moving some guys around if the right deal comes along. But yeah, no, from a fab standpoint, I wasn't expecting to win as many of these bids as I did, to be honest with you, because I knew I tied a lot of them, and it just happened that the waiver priority was in my favor those 2 times. I've lost a couple deals that way, and here I am all of a sudden with all these guys and a little bit of fab left, but it's definitely an interesting position to be in for sure.
Yeah, I think your experience this year is probably the opposite of mine, because my team sucked and I'm dead, and I get to watch the Bengals eat shit every week. So I'm having a bad time.
that is true. Actually, it's the complete 180 of what's going on here. I can't imagine it gets much worse than getting chopped either the same week or the week after your team loses to the worst team in football. I can't. That's just an absolute brutal week.
Yeah, Mangold just died. It was
Mangold died.
They had a halftime speech that got him riled up or something to do it for Nick Mangold.
Yeah, I
Who
mean,
knows?
the football gods don't smile on the Jets, but yeah, it's a shame. Nick Mangold passing it so young. He was such a great player for so many years for a team that was just most of the
Bad.
time was just so bad. And I think he was on the team the years of the 2 years they
Sanchez?
made it to the AFC Championship,
He
Yeah.
uh,
was.
which I guess is pretty cool. But he was also on the field when they had the butt fumble too. So
Yep.
it's
Was that his
kind of
butt?
crazy.
I doubt it. I think it was a guard or something.
Ah, okay.
But yeah, I think you spent a lot this week, Max. I think you got some guys that are definitely useful.
Mhm.
Lad, Brian Thomas. If Brian Thomas can come back to form, and you dropped Herbert and then bought him back for 4. I don't know if anyone had put any. Did anyone else bid
No,
money on him?
nobody
Maybe
put any major bids on him. I'm a
you're a
coward.
believer.
I should have stood firm in my belief in Herbert. So I paid the price for it. I think I net lost between the Thomas bid and the Herbert bid probably about $3. So when
That's
I only have
fine.
8 fab left, it's every dollar counts, and
But you're in
I
a
should have
position to trade
just
players too. You have so many guys now, even on your bench, that like you can work that. And
yeah, no, and I mean, I got good deals on a lot of these guys, but now I'm in a position where I've got a pretty glaring need at running back, but I can't bid quite what I need to, but I'm sure the right opportunity will come along. I just gotta make it long enough till it does.
exactly. All right, we got Walker's team. He nothing this week. Still has $10. He had a big week from Jalen Hurts and Chase Brown, and he's gonna roll out Trevor Lawrence this week while Jalen Hurts is on bye, and he's looking pretty solid across the board. He had the Bengals D in until this morning. Now he's got the Colts D, so that probably feels a little better. I was surprised to see the Colts D just getting dropped like that. I forget who dropped him, but
Ben. Was it Ben?
Ben, I think. I was like, man, just dropping the Colts D for Travion Henderson or whatever it was. Like that's interesting to me. But what was the context that Ben dropped him? I'm trying to look back.
I gave him the Chargers D for Buck.
Oh yeah, and then he dropped the Colts D. All right, fair enough. He likes the Chargers D, so he can. They got Tennessee this week, and then Pittsburgh and Jacksonville. All right.
Yeah, he's pretty strong. He doesn't really need to make a ton of moves.
No.
He's
Ben?
pretty strong
Oh,
everywhere.
Walker.
Walker.
So sorry. Yeah. it's like there's a take.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walker's in good shape.
He's in good shape. Boy, did I enjoy having to find a Joe Flacco gift for this slide. Didn't think I'd find
You'd
a
think
Bengals
they
one.
won.
What?
You'd think they won.
You would think. You would think. Flacco's fun to watch though. That's I could be a little optimistic about that. If we're gonna lose games, at least we're losing them in a fun fashion, I guess. Flacco, Vidal, and Spears, quite a wild top 3 scorers from last week for his team. He's got Jaden Daniels coming back. He has Rico Dowdle. Puka coming back. So he's got lots of guys. And you'll notice in his little trade section here, he just gained Alec Pearson $2, and that is correct because he got QJ from Ben for $1 and then sold him for $3 in Alec Pierce. So netted $2, which he spent on Woody Marks.
Why are we giving $3 for QJ?
I don't know.
Can anybody answer that question?
Can we get
Can
Johnny
anybody
on the
answer that
horn?
question? Any
For the
any
hope
thoughts
that he
on this
returns to early season form.
Yeah.
Wide receiver 5 form. But yeah, Potter's in a good spot. He's got a solid team. Still owns the market in Fab, so he's in a great spot to keep spending and getting this team better. But he's got solid dudes here for now.
Yeah, he'll get to if the right team gets chopped over the next couple weeks, he'll get to hand pick who he wants for the last few weeks of the year.
Is a perfect point, and I think because how I've looked at it, and I said earlier in the video that there's obviously going to be some. I think one of the bottom tier guys right now, that being like Mitchell, Fleming, Ryan, Ben, I would say are like the bottom tier. One of those guys could very easily make the Final Four. It always kind of happens that way, where one of them just keeps surviving, and then eventually things go right for them. But that also means a good team that is expected to go far is going to die randomly. And when that happens, if it's not Potter, he can just feast on that waivers.
The lowest projected this week is Mitch. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
If I was Jack, I wouldn't spend. I know I wouldn't spend a ton of money on any of these guys that Mitch has. But I guess if you're looking, for low tier teams, there are some teams that are in trouble, at least in the danger zone, that have some really exciting options.
Yeah, and the other point is now we're at the point where really decent players are going for $0 on waivers, or they're just still on waivers. Like you can totally work free agency to make a good lineup if you just pick your right guys.
Kenneth went for 2. It's
4.
like, and Kenneth can go for. I mean, this is a stretch, but Kenneth can go for 30.
You can look at his game.
Yeah,
last year he did it.
Yeah. So like guys like that, to your point, Eric, it's just like, you form a team of Kenneth Walkers, like they get hot at the right time, and like, yeah, it's probably on paper not going to be a team that makes it the whole way, but it's like maybe it does, against all odds, because he can go off. Exactly.
Yeah, it's like if the right guy goes on waivers this week, there are maybe 3 teams that are going to be able to afford him. Like if it's an elite running back or an elite receiver, like top 3 guy, there are realistically maybe 3 teams who are going to be able to afford those options out there.
Yeah,
I mean it's just crazy. I mean, that's just, I guess, where we're at now.
That's where we're at. All right, we got Jake's team. He's sitting pretty, so he didn't do much. He got Fields last week to plug in the lineup, and that worked out for him.
Got Hunt for $1.
He did. Oh yeah, I forgot to add that in because that was a recent claim. Yeah, I was looking at his team, and he had Marquise Brown in there, who was not projected to play, and also just like, why would you start Marquise Brown? But he went with a different chief that has an equal amount of bust potential. So Kareem Hunt, and the rest of his lineup is just really solid. He's got Lamar returning. He's got the big, a lot of stakes on Thursday night with Lamar, Zay Flowers, and Mark Andrews. But that is something to monitor. And I have a hard cutoff in 15 minutes, by the way. So
I'm getting pulled into a meeting. So
oh boy,
I'm gonna go.
Right.
My vote is Ben. I think his wide receivers and flexes are booty. So
yeah, he's the front runner of votes this week.
Yeah.
No longer Mitchell.
Yep. All right, team.
Alrighty, we'll see ya.
See ya.
All right, Johnny's team, as mentioned maybe at some point earlier in the video, he adds Ibuka, who is on bye and still kind of dealing with that injury. Kind of. I don't think he's should have anything nagging him when he comes back next week. He buys QJ for $3 from Ryan. It's $3, I guess, but QJ could be nothing. So that's an interesting move there. Ibuka could be good when he comes back if he can. I don't know. Ryan and I were talking earlier. The Bucs just kind of seem off. Like their offense has been kind of hit a valley the last 2 or 3 weeks, and Baker and Ibuka just haven't been in sync. But we'll see if he can get that back. We've got.
It's the injuries for sure. And I mean, if I'm Johnny, I'd be a little freaked out at my receivers because you got Waddle,
MHJ, QJ,
Harrison, QJ, who could all combine for 5 points, or they could each go off for 20.
Waddle's
a lot of volatility there.
I would say Waddle's. I've never been a huge fan of Waddle as a fantasy player, but he has been consistent lately.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Waddle's been consistent, but
he had 2 points
QJ,
against Cleveland, so maybe not. That was just 2 weeks ago.
QJ was doing cardio last week, and we don't know what kind of. I mean, at least the matchup's good for Marvin Harrison because the Cowboys can't stop anybody.
I just don't see a way where QJ ever gets back involved in the offense. It's Ladd, it's Keenan Allen, it's Gadsden now, and the running backs and
Vidal.
Yeah. So
it'll be tough.
I don't know. It's tough for him to get involved. To see. But we'll see. We shall see. Johnny's still got $35, so a moderate amount of fab to work with. Mitchell's team. We got no green in here. His best players are relative to where they're being started is Kenneth Walker at the flex 1 And J-Mo, the flex too. I just saw a report today that, was it the Lions OC or someone saying they are going to really try to get J-Mo involved in the offense because they're quote unquote like failing him so far this year in terms of getting him involved, and it's their fault and not his. So maybe we see a little J-Mo pop off. But I can totally see Mitchell surviving with this team. He adds Kenneth Walker and Tracy. That definitely helps the floor. I think Tracy should be the guy getting the bulk and not Devin Singletary, but who knows? We've seen this happen where a different guy gets the work than who we expected. And Jackson Dart, I believe he's rolling out Dart.
No, he's rolling out Knicks right now.
Okay,
as
rolling
a
out
starter
Knicks.
right now. Dart's on the bench.
I
do think that Dart is the better play this week
against
the Niners, because Houston's got an elite defense. I mean,
they do.
But yeah, I mean, Bo Nix has been on such a heater. I kind of get staying in the flames with Nix, but there's also the Broncos offense likes to disappear every once in a while, and if there's a defense they're going to disappear against, it's going to be Houston's. So we'll see. I mean, it's a toss up for sure.
I think
Either
it is.
way.
I think they both perform. They both have been performing each week, so you probably can't go wrong, but there will inevitably be a right choice here. All right, Fleming. Khalil Shakir, my boy, with a nice week. He goes to get Bucky for 15, Goff for $1. I don't think he needed to spend $1, but I guess it's just $1. But when you only have $4, you might want that $1 back. But he is starting Goff, I'm fairly certain. Let me double check that is true. He is starting Goff. Swift, Ramondre, Pickens, Debo with McLaurin out could be good. So yeah, he also gets Laporta back from bye, Charbonnet. And then he does the trade Ricky Pearsall for DJ Moore, which on paper I like that trade for him. I think Ricky Pearsall has more potential going forward than DJ Moore. He just appears to be on track to not play again. And Bucky is a future play here. Bucky's on bye and still trying to come back from that injury. But next week, he will have Bucky, most likely.
I wasn't here when you guys showed the injury reapers. Is he on there yet?
Bucky, no, because he has to be in a starting lineup.
Okay. I mean, I feel like there's
I can go back real fast to show you the additions. Bang, 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 bang. Where the hell? There it is. Additions this week were Ladd McConkey, Cortland Sutton, and Jake Ferguson.
Fuck, I should get rid of Ladd McConkey then.
But Travion, I almost took him off, but he is rostered, so I'm going to keep him on until he is not rostered.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm ready for this list to not get longer. I'm hoping for there to be more people join the 3 group, and then I just only show the 3 so I can stop having to crop out so many NFL players and put them on the slide. Okay, let's get back. Fleming. I think I wrapped it up here. Yeah.
Yeah, we're good.
He's got 1 green, and that being the Lions defense, funny enough.
Yeah, we'll see. JJ's any good.
Ben getting his 2nd trash can of the year. As I kind of said, what's going to lead his group is Dak, Achane, and Gibbs. You could even throw in the Chargers defense. They might be a solid floor. They've been good, and they've got a good matchup. It was the Titans, right? Yeah. So everyone else, you can get some guys to pop off in here, but it's nothing super exciting, I wouldn't say. And currently, I mean, he does not have Travion Henderson in his starting lineup, but he did for a little bit. And now he has Malik Washington in here and not Pollard. So he has that tonight.
He's got Stafford as his starting quarterback right now.
That too. I saw that. Cause
I don't know, man. That's
more fun to sweat it out on Monday, though, right? If you
I guess, yeah. I mean, you buy yourself. We'll see. I mean, he's in a tough spot. I think we're going to learn a lot about where he's going to finish based on this game tonight.
I agree with the Achane and Malik Washington. I'm looking at just like times of his games. He's done. He has 1 person at 4 o'clock on Sunday, and
but
then he's
Zach
done.
Ertz. He's not a move. He's not a needle.
Oh, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz. So yeah, Shaheed at 4 and Zach Ertz at 8, and those are his last 2 guys to play. So we'll see how he looks going into after 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I was gonna say, neither of those guys really moved the needle I mean, Tyler Shuck's starting for
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans this week,
Could be
so
good.
it'll
It
be
could be
interesting
bad.
to see.
For
Oh, and then he's got Stafford in the 3 o'clock window, so we'll see. I mean, his team,
you
he's
Central Timer.
yeah, he's
4 o'clock.
You mean it's the right time zone.
All right.
He's in an interesting spot for sure. I don't think he has anybody on bye coming up too, but
No,
yeah, I
not
don't
right
know. I
now.
mean, I think his decisions. I think the decision for him is do you play Dak Monday night or Stafford? Honestly, there's a strong
Dak's
case to
kind
be
of on
made
a
either
heater,
way.
so
Yeah, no, absolutely.
don't hate the move. Um, just leaves them with not much. Not that you can change much. If you're gonna have your quarterback left on Monday, the only thing you can do is trade for the other quarterback, and that being Kyler. So it's like that doesn't
I think
help
he's
you.
on waivers.
Yeah, or you trade
But
for the Monday night or the Sunday night quarterback, which would be Jaden Daniels, or
yeah,
you're not going to trade for Sam Darnold. So yeah, I don't know. It's always fun to have a Monday night player in your lineup because you can make the panic move if needed. But if it's your quarterback, it doesn't. You can't really do much with that.
yeah, both Jake and Ben better hope tonight is a track meet.
Yeah,
Otherwise, they're in big trouble. Because I think
they are.
Jake had
He has
3
3
Ravens
Ravens.
starting today.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. He's got 5 guys playing on 2 teams, 6 guys in 2 games.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, I got about 5 minutes before I got to jump to a meeting, so we're going to
No
crank
problem.
the rest of this out. There's not really much else to report on. Cooper dies. Ferguson puts up the goose egg. Jordan Mason and Slayton were his other lower scorers. 60 fab into the void. That was a lot. I think, if, say, Potter dies, which I haven't really thrown out that, what's the word? Hypothetical. Like, that could really shift the economy for sure. I mean, but the guys that are right below Potter in terms of the most fab are already like the good teams, Jake, Jack, David. So, but for the lower guys, it might help them see some light maybe. You don't have a guy sitting there with 70 plus fab. But yeah, I thought Cooper's team was good on paper. It just kept underperforming, and he of course unfortunately just traded Saquon before he popped off. If he didn't do that, he'd be alive today. So, R.I.P.
It happens. I think we were expecting at one point for somebody to accidentally trade themselves out of survival, and I guess this was the week that it finally happened.
It'll happen. It'll happen probably multiple times throughout the year. Yeah. Congrats, Max. You moved up one. I didn't really to the top 7. I pretty much kept it. Actually, the entire list I kept it the same. I just moved. These guys move up because Cooper died at the 8. So this was actually the only change I made, and I was really trying to see if I really thought anyone surpassed anyone, and it's pretty close all around here. You and Walker are pretty close, but giving you the edge. You both are lower on fab, but
Yeah. No, and especially with the going rate of players going down, I think that fab will be, it's still important, but we'll kind of see how some of these guys end up getting priced out here, and what happens when a superstar, like a true superstar, ends up on the waiver wire. We're going to have somebody dropping 30 or 40. I mean, it's going to be mind games for the 3 guys with the 40 plus fab. How much are they going to dump onto, like, say like a like I said, some superstar. I don't want to say any names because I don't want people to think I'm going to jinx their team. So, but you know who they are. If you're going to dump like 35, 40 fab on a guy to do that, then all of a sudden everything changes. But yeah, I think at 4, that's probably about where I expect to be, especially with my fab issues. But I'm a seller right now, so if people are looking to make deals, I'll hear most offers, all offers that come my way.
there you go. All right, we got the board here of who's getting votes. It's Ben leading the way, but then we got 2 for Potter, 2 for Mitchell, 2 for Ryan, and then 1 on Fleming, 1 on Johnny. This is a pretty good turnout of votes. 14 votes. Some weeks only gotten like 12 or 11, so even the dead people are getting in there and voting. I like to see that. No one got it right last week, Cooper. So board over here stays the same. I'm looking to get on the board. That's all I have to fight for now. Is I look at this league. I look at the teams in the league and the rosters more than anyone probably, and you would think I could sniff some of these out, but no, hasn't happened yet.
Good on Ryan for getting 3. Yeah, I haven't hit one this season yet. I don't know if I will because I can't, unfortunately, see the future. I thought I could, but I can't.
And it's
It
tough
is what it
because,
is.
I mean, going with the crowd, it doesn't really help you. Like if you get it right, I mean, it also hurts you a lot if it does go, because then everyone gets on the board and you don't. Like I'm not voting for Ben this week. I have my vote on Ryan. So if Ben goes, a lot of people are getting on this board and I'm not. But I just don't see a way where I'm going to get to the top of this. At the end of the season, think about it. You're picking between 4 people, 3 people, 2 people. People are going to start racking up the points. So it's the people who get points now early in the season, when it's hard to get it right, that are going to be in a good position to take it at the end of the season.
Yeah, I have my vote on Potter right now. I don't know. I may change that. We'll see. I know we've got a few hours.
I think I've always done better doing this off of gut feel almost. Like I have to look at their lineup, but then it's like my gut feel off their lineup. Like if you just go to someone's lineup and look for like, ooh, who has the most red matchups, or who has the most people on bye this week, or who's the lowest projected score, like you're probably not going to get it right. Like no one. That's why it's just vibe. You sometimes just got to look at everyone's teams and pick someone off of vibes. And I think I need to go back to doing that because I have not. I've been trying to overanalyze it, and it has not been working.
All right. Well, it's 2:59. Thanks again for having me here today. I want to make sure you make it to your meeting. But
for sure.
Yeah,
Keeping me in check. We'll wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Thanks for hopping in.
Yep. Good luck this week, everybody.
Absolutely. Good luck. Don't get chopped. We'll see you next week.